Hello chess lovers, I have a very interesting game for you played by Veselin Topalov against Mario Leskovar. The game was played in 1992 in Alicante, which is a city in Spain. Topalov had white pieces and he started with d4, d6 by Leskovar, e4, knight f6, knight c3, e5. The game is transformed into a Philidor defense, knight e2, c6, f3, knight d7, and g4. As you know, Topalov is a very aggressive player and already from the opening he's trying to create problems for black. d5, well, not a good move. Actually, playing bishop e7 is better if g5 than knight h5, but instead we see d5 by black. Now comes g5, knight h5, and it takes d5. Bishop e7, of course, recapturing on d5 is not a good idea because white can first play knight g3 and after the exchange of knights, look at this, pawns on e5 and d5. Right now white is threatening d takes e5, targeting the pawn on d5, and actually the knight on d7 square is somehow misplaced. That's why after e takes d5 we see bishop e7 and d takes c6. Not the strongest continuation by Topalov. Knight g3 is better. If knight takes g3 then h takes g3. If bishop takes g5 then simply d takes e5. And now the pawn can't be captured because of this fork. Let's go back. After d takes c6 we see b takes c6, knight e4, f5, g takes f6, knight takes f6, knight g3, black castles kingside, d takes e5, and queen b6, which is a total blunder. It was better to play queen a5 check. If queen d2 then win back the pawn, but instead after d takes e5 we see queen b6. Black is sacrificing the knight on f6 square, but let's have a look what black has in his mind. It takes f6 and bishop c5. Already there are some threats of bishop f2 check followed by queen e3 checkmate. We see knight e4 covering the f2 square, but now comes the rook d8, bishop d2 and bishop e3. Already black is creating a very dangerous threat, rook takes d2. For example, just a random move. If a move like f takes g7 then rook takes d2, and you can't recapture with the knight because of this bishop f2 checkmate. But after bishop e3 Topalov came up with a shocking decision. As you can see, the bishop on d2 square is pinned, but Topalov captured on e3 and sacrificed his queen. Look at this. Black accepted the sacrifice and captured on d1. Rook takes d1 and queen takes e3. But now comes rook d8 check, and after king f7 the knight jumps on d6 square giving a check, and Topalov is starting a very dangerous king hunt. King takes f6, rook f8 check, king g5. Of course, if you play the king on e5 then simply rook e8 check, winning the queen. That's why we see king g5. Now comes the second rook, rook g1 check, king h4, and in this position Topalov made a move and Leskovar resigned. Can you find his next move? Ready? Well, look, if it weren't this bishop then white could simply checkmate black king. That's why Topalov simply captured on c8 and removed the defender, and black resigned. If rook takes c8 then rook g4, and this poor king which belongs to Mario is getting mated. A very dramatic game, I think. We could see that it was black who tried to organize an attack by sacrificing a piece, but then Topalov sacrificed his queen and the whole game turned upside down and we saw this crazy king hunt on the board. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions don't hesitate to leave your comments. Good luck.